While you are watching this video, you will actually be walking through a city that is already dead. And the man I'm about to tell you about believed that night, as he left his home, that he would return in just a few hours. On the night of April 26, 1986, time was moving slowly in Pripyat. Built in the shadow of a nuclear power plant, the city was a showcase of Soviet pride. The streets were clean, the apartment buildings were new, and people believed the future was safe. They trusted the state because there was no alternative. Vasily Ignatenko was one of the ordinary people of this city. Born in Belarus, he completed his military service at a young age and later became a firefighter because he wanted to help people. After arriving in Pripyat, he met Lyudmila. They married soon after. Their home was small but orderly. Lyudmila was pregnant, and before every shift, Vasily would touch her belly and smile, saying, "I'll be a father soon." That night was no different. Around 1 a.m., the city was asleep. Some residents had looked out their windows at the plant's chimneys before going to bed. Others were resting for their early shifts. At exactly 1:23 a.m., a test at reactor number 4 went out of control. The fire department received a call that simply said, "Roof fire." Vasily woke to the alarm, jumped up instinctively, and did not wake Lyudmila. He believed he would be back in a few hours. He put on his uniform, tied his boots, paused briefly at the door, and left without knowing it was his last look back. As the truck approached the plant, the night began to change. The sky glowed with an unnatural blue light. The air smelled metallic, like ozone. Some firefighters immediately felt a strange taste in their mouths. On the ground were black, shiny, stone-like objects, graphite blocks from the reactor core, though no one knew that yet. Radiation meters were broken or showed 0 because the levels were far beyond their limits. Death was everywhere, but invisible. The commander gave the order, "Go up to the roof. Extinguish the fire." Vasily did not question it. Firefighting teaches obedience. On the roof, the metal beneath their feet wasn't just hot, it was burning. In some places, the soles of their boots began to melt. Vasily used his gloved hands to throw the scattered pieces away. Each one burned through the gloves within seconds, scorching his skin. He thought it was just a normal fire hazard. Minutes later, his head began to spin. Nausea set in. His vision blurred. A sharp metallic taste filled his mouth. Some firefighters began vomiting. Still, no one retreated. The fire had to be brought under control. As the hours passed, Vasily's face swelled. His lips cracked. His voice changed. By dawn, he could no longer stand. They were taken to Pripyat Hospital. Doctors didn't yet understand what they were facing, but they knew it wasn't an ordinary burn. Blood values dropped rapidly. Skin reactions were unnatural. Still, no one said the word radiation. Within hours, Vasily and the other severe cases were transferred to a special hospital in Moscow. Lyudmila learned of her husband's condition and left immediately. She hid the fact that she was pregnant. She knew she wouldn't be allowed inside. Doctors warned her, "Do not touch him, do not stay close." Vasily was no longer just a patient, he was a source of radiation. Lyudmila ignored the warnings. She visited him every day. She held his hand. She looked at his face. Days passed, and Vasily's body began to collapse. His skin blistered, then peeled away in layers. His organs failed one by one. He lost the ability to speak. Sometimes, only tears fell from his eyes. Lyudmila talked about their home, their dreams, their unborn child, as if hearing her might keep him alive. On the 13th day, Vasily's heart stopped. He was buried in a lead-lined coffin. His grave was sealed with concrete, because his body was still emitting radiation. Around the same time, Pripyat was evacuated. People were told they were leaving for 3 days. Meals were left on tables. Toys stayed on floors. Doors were left unlocked. No one knew they would never return. Lyudmila lost her baby shortly afterward. Doctors never explained why. She already knew. The state remained silent for years. The truth emerged slowly: documents, reports, television series, but what happened that night never changed. Vasily Ignatenko did not leave his home to be a hero. He left to do his job. And in one of the greatest nuclear disasters in human history, he walked toward an invisible enemy with no protection, quietly giving his life.